Maybe you've been looking at the DJI Osmo Action 4 and wondering whether you should still pick one up in 2025, especially given the incredibly low price and the deals that you can find. In this video, I'm going to give you several reasons why I think you should definitely consider it, and a couple of things that you'll want to be mindful of before you make your final decision, because they could actually be deal breakers for you. Alright, so this is currently the Osmo Action 4 footage, and still think it looks good. It still looks good. It is a bright day. It always shines in a bright day. The footage, the image quality looks amazing. But yeah, this is still what it looks like today in 2025. Where are we? March. And the footage is still looking pretty good. Yeah. So first off, I want to just highlight how amazing the image quality is from this camera. When you have great lighting, you can get incredible footage from it. But if you do want a camera where you can film in low light situations, then this is potentially one of those reasons that you might want to avoid it, especially if you think you'll be filming quite a lot indoors in dimly lit environments. But otherwise, when filming outdoors in good daylight, I doubt you're going to be disappointed. However, if you're the type of person that really likes to colour grade your footage, even though the D-Log-M is 10-bit, the Action 5 Pro actually grades better than the Action 4 D-Log-M footage. So you might just want to consider that if you want the best of the best quality. But that is only if you shoot in D-Log-M, so if you think that you're potentially just going to be shooting in the normal colour profile and you're not going to want to make any adjustments, you just want a really quick workflow, then the Osmo Action 4 normal footage actually looks better than the Action 5 Pro normal footage. If you think that you're going to be filming all day, if you go for the adventure combo, which I still think is a bargain today, you're going to have plenty of juice to last you. And if you actually just want to go for the standard combo where you just get the one battery, you won't have to wait too long, because you can charge a battery which is basically depleted from 0 to 80% in under 20 minutes, roughly. So that should give you enough time to start filming again if you want to put it to charge with a power bank whilst you're moving around between locations. So remember how I said that there are a few reasons that I actually wouldn't recommend it, and the first one was to do with the low light quality. And so this next one is actually to do with the audio. But before I get on to that, I just want to quickly mention Motion Array, who is also sponsoring this video. They've got loads of useful assets for video projects, and with my link in the description, you can get 2 months free. What I really want to highlight though is their upgraded motion graphics category. You can now drag and drop motion graphics straight onto your timeline, making editing so much faster. Plus, the easy to use motion graphics work with any editing software, so I use Final Cut Pro and they work perfectly. Everything's easy to find, all on transparent backgrounds and grouped in one place. So I'm just going to reposition it so that it's in a better place, and you can pretty much move it around anywhere in the frame that you want it to be in. That looks pretty good. And I'm also just going to make it a little bit bigger and then just reposition it a little bit more. And it really is that simple. That's all you need to do. Just drag and drop, reposition, resize, and you're good to go. So if you do want to check out Motion Array, I've dropped a link in the description which will give you 2 months free on an annual plan. And a big thanks to Motion Array for sponsoring this video. When it comes to audio from the Osmo Action 4, the in-camera mics are actually very good. The quality of the sound is quite good. But there's no doubt that you're going to get better quality if you use an external mic, especially if you're in environments where there's a lot of ambient noise or traffic. And if you're going for the whole immersive sound, then that's great. But if you actually want to talk to the camera and you want to have clear audio, then that background noise can sometimes drown out your actual voice. So having an external microphone is going to be the best way to kind of get around that. My recommendation is to stay within the DJI ecosystem and go for the DJI Mic 2 or the DJI Mic Mini, since you can connect both of those mics directly via Bluetooth without the need for a receiver. So that's basically the thing that you have to plug into the camera when you're using a wireless mic. You don't need that with the Osmo Action 4 when you're using a DJI mic. Okay, so I've just switched off the DJI Mic 2 because I want you to hear what the audio sounds like. It's a little bit breezy at the moment, so there's wind hitting the microphones and you should be able to hear that. So if I now switch to the DJI Mic 2, switch it on. Okay, the DJI Mic 2 has now been switched on. This is what the audio sounds like from that. So you should be able to hear quite a difference, even just with that little breeze of the wind. And let me go to a slightly noisier environment so that you can hear it there as well. And if you do like the idea of using one of the DJI mics via Bluetooth connection, then the next reason that I wouldn't actually recommend the Osmo Action 4 is if you weren't going to be filming by yourself, and if you were going to be filming with other people. So if you know that you're going to have others talking in your video with you, or if you're going to be doing any kind of interviews, then you'd probably want to go with the Osmo Action 5 Pro, as you can connect 2 transmitters via Bluetooth, whereas you can only connect 1 via Bluetooth with the Osmo Action 4, unless you were to plug in the receiver. But like I said, it's so much nicer to not have to plug anything into the Osmo Action 4. But if you are feeling like you're leaning towards the Osmo Action 4 and the receiver is the thing that's not going to really put you off, then that's absolutely fine. I'm by a pretty busy road at the moment, and there's also some really weird noise going on. It's like a constant, I don't know, like something's running, like a machine's running. And so this is audio that you're hearing straight from the Action 4 camera mics, and it's also a little bit windy, so there's going to be wind hitting the mics again, just like the earlier clip. I'm going to switch and put the DJI Mic 2 on now so that you can hear the difference. Okay, so the Mic 2 is now being connected, and this is what the audio sounds like. Same spot, obviously, I haven't moved, and with all the background noise going on, cars going by in front of me, and then that weird machine going on as well in the background, and this is what the audio sounds like. And again, it should be a lot clearer than when it was just the audio coming straight from the Action 4 camera mics. If one of your other concerns is whether or not your footage is going to be stable whilst you're walking and talking and you're doing your vlogs, then you don't have to worry about that, because the Osmo Action 4 has great stabilization. The stabilization is amazing. The footage comes out really smooth, it's steady even on the lowest stabilization setting. I think I have mine set to rock steady, and I never have to put it up to rock steady plus when I'm just walking around. The footage looks great. And if you want a completely level horizon, that's also something that you can do, especially if you use something like the hanging neck mount. If you've got POV shots, then you can make sure that the horizon is steady, even if it is around your neck, and then you'll have level footage. The sun's just gone in behind the clouds. It also looks like it's gonna absolutely pee it down over there. There's a massive grey cloud coming. But looking at the footage, it's still looking decent, it's still holding up. It's still footage looking at the screen that I would probably still use. So it's just such a good camera. Such a good camera. So if the downsides I mentioned don't put you off and you're still considering the Osmo Action 4, especially given the price point that it is now, I still highly recommend it. And if you do end up getting it and you're trying to get the best out of the footage as well, I recommend watching this video next.